And what about this message that I received, because it came fully the pain of taxes. No, you know the passage in Matthew 17. Amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Catch a fish, and this fish will bring a coin. That coin will pay for you and for me.
Right.
So I think it's a reference to fallen Adam, obviously, because the fish was one of the forms of the primordial Adam.
Oh, absolutely.
The fishmen, the fish gods, Apkallu, and they brought civilization. Even some civilizations full of draconian laws.
Yeah.
Osiris was sometimes represented like a fish with a fish hat, and fish was holy in Egypt.
Yeah. And just imagine, like, our Earth here is 80% water or 70% water, 30% land. How much is hidden in the water?
Mm-hmm.
And all these civilizations, how many lost civilizations are underwater, not that we can't even access, and have any idea of, and we're just finding these few on land,
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the talk of the fishermen, where did, and all of a sudden lost civil, and 80% of the planet is water, so it's kind of like.
Yeah, actually, in Hebrew tradition, it is said that the first wife of Adam, so that the first bodies embodied by the soul Adam, were not like us. They say they were mermaid-like, like fish, like the mermaids and the tritons.
Yes.
And Adam was disgusted because that soul was not meant for that sort of animal body. And there are traditions, oral traditions from the Hebrews, which say Adam felt disgusted. So they retreated, and this is why Genesis 2 says that Adam did not find an appropriate helpmate. Yes. So the architects took that side. So they sent Lilith to the bottom of the sea. That's in the Zohar.
Wow.
So they somehow discarded this experiment, and they generated another species. I think it's the little people. So the new form in which Adam incarnated were the humanoids. They were not mermaids. They were like us, but small.
Yes.
And they had an appendix.
Yeah, the pineal gland.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, if you look in ancient representations, it's very clear. You see here the Sumerian version, Adapa, with this protrusion from the head.
Yes.
In the official theory, they say it's a plant. No, it's not a plant. It's an organ that came through his head.
Mm-hmm.
And this is holding a vessel. Actually, this picture comes from another picture in which you see 3 vessels. Because humanity is a vessel. We are meant to contain the light.
Yes.
Now these gods of the earth, this might be Ninhursag, were architects that might not be like this. I think this is a representation probably of the spirit within this creature. Like Prometheus, no? The alchemist, like Zosimos of Panoplis, said that Prometheus and Epimetheus were like Adam and Eve. So Prometheus was the mind, and Epimetheus was the psychic part connected to the body that opened the box of Pandora. No? That was like Eve, or the woman eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And the same in Egypt. No? This is Nun, and this might be, well, a form of proto-humanity meant to incarnate Horus, the reincarnation of Osiris that was defeated by the evil powers. And here you find maybe Thoth, the god of wisdom. So I think there was a project to bring maybe the divine consciousness on earth, but it failed. Those creatures were even influenced by the fallen spirits from the previous era. Lilith and Samael were influencing in the subconscious and unconscious,
right?
Just as today. Actually, in Hebrew Kabbalistic teachings, it is said that Lilith attacks men, especially at night, or marriages. They try to make men unfaithful with their wives. And Samael attack women. This is why we see a culture in which women are sexualized, oppressed.
Yeah.
We find
Everything
that
is.
in Islam, even. They claim to be pure, but when you see a woman fully covered up with a black dress, I see many in this village because it's full of Muslims. And it seems we are in Afghanistan. Is their decision? I don't think so.
Right.
Because many of them are obliged to carry that. And if they are not carrying this veil, they are punished. So it's like treating women like animals, like a possession. No?
Absolutely.
I think that's an influence of Samael, of the evil spirits from the fallen kings of Edom. What if the fallen kings of Edom belong to these other reptilian mermaid-like races or other species? Yeah, amphibious maybe también also.
Oh, absolutely, because they speak of the 8 kings, and you don't know you don't know what each one brought, what different influences each one brought,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I think Edom is somehow an energy or a land, a kingdom that was destroyed. This is why we find that Esau, the spirit of Esau that fights against Jacob in the story, comes from Edom, is an Edomite.
yes,
And so humanity has inherited this fallen nature that came from the fallen kings of Edom.
yes.
That's very profound. I didn't find
And
this. Yes, go
even
on.
when my apologies.
No, but
I was just thinking too when they said when Esau was born, he was covered in like thick red hair, and Esau means red, and red, usually represents something mischievous, the color red, like caution, hey, you know what I mean? Hot fire, Diablos, or something like that.
yes, that's also in Adam. Dam is blood, which is red, and Aleph is the spirit in the blood. But
Yeah,
Dam can also be a spiritual blood. So the first Adam was not fleshy like us,
right.
but contained the desolation of Edom, because that had to be somehow rectified. So the kings were not able to bring the divine mind into the world of form, of physicality. So Adam was meant to rule like a king, but he fell under the influence of the fallen kings and had to be rescued by a new project, which was the project of Abraham. To me, every day is more and more clear.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm very sad to see great speakers and great researchers falling into this negative Gnostic view that sees the God of the Old Testament as an evil demiurge that wants to feed on souls. But when you understand what the Yud-Heh is, it's very interesting, because it's not an entity, it's a project of reintegration of fallen souls and fallen energies into the origin of the energy of life. So we have the four worlds: Atzilut, emanation, then Beria, which is the world of gestation or creation, in which Adam was first generated. No?
Yes.
Adam was bara, created, and then formed. So first he is bara. I'd like to say gestated, because created is like from nothing. No? But there was already an energy, a life.
Yes.
Then was educated, formed, and finally made. So the world of emanation, gestation, formation, and action. This is the Yud-Heh. So it's a process of education which is perfectly explained in the Torah with codes. That you need to know the codes. But it's very sad to see people that can think, and they have been deceived by late Gnostic theories, which I think misinterpreted the messages in the old scripture. For some reason, the Essenes did not punctuate the Torah. They just left the letters straight, and you see what you are. It's like a mirror.
Yeah.
So if you see evil, it's because obviously you are mirroring evil.
Yeah.
Don't take the name of Yud-Heh in vain.
Right.
If you are evil,
Just I was just gonna say, when you add the vowels, I mean, in English, the vowels are A, E, I, O, U. So it's kind of like an IOU. You know, so when you add the vowels to it, they added some form of payment that had to be made, or payment arrangement. You know, that kind of that when you buy into that way, you pay in some shape or form. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. The vowels are what brings the definite meaning. This is why in Hebrew forms of the Tetragrammaton, it is used with different vowels for different purposes. So if you read Howe, is destruction. But Yeshua, which contains the Tetragrammaton, Yehoshua, is salvation by means of the seed of life.
So does it mean that it's all that
Exactly.
contained in one? Yeah.
Exactly, because it's a process, and the energy of life can destroy if it is not fully expressed. It's like water. If you build a dam and there is too much pressure, if you do not contain all the pressure, the dam breaks.
It's like the breaking of the vessels.
Yeah, the breaking of the vessels,
Yeah.
which is basically the incapability of receiving all the love and all the light.
Right.
If you want to make life and light for your own without sharing it with others, it breaks you.
Wow.
Yes, you might be like a tetragrammaton, but you are a broken tetragrammaton.
Yeah. Or you could have the best intentions, and you get all this information, but you don't share, and
Exactly.
you know, and what good is it?
This is the problem of the elites. We are secret. We are a special group. You are stupid. In life, there is no secret.
Yeah, right,
There is
man.
nothing hidden.
Right. Nothing hidden. Nope. A good
And
father withholds no gift from his
mhm,
children, you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
The problem of the elites is that they are run by the fallen kings, which still want to exert control, to build pyramids.
Yeah.
We see all that in all the fallen theocratic empires. Sumeria, Babylon, Egypt, Greece,
Yes.
Roman,
Yeah, we even
Rome.
brought it to they even brought it to America. What's on the money, you know? We got the
Mhm.
pale seeing eye on top of the pyramid, you know. I don't know how more plain it could be. Like here it is.
The Western civilization is Rome, so it's an extension
Absolutely.
of Rome.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because I mean, it seems like that everybody answers still to the Vatican, you know, in some way. Every power that wants to be the kings and queens of of Europe and England and Britain, and they all have to check in with the Vatican before they like make any they the fishmen before they make any type of move, you
Mhm.
know. And yeah, I think and that's Rome. I mean, that is Rome. Yeah, because I mean, and that's like the one of the biggest you know, I don't know. It's they got they got a stronghold on a lot of the all the they got a lot of the truth buried right there
Mhm.
that they don't share. That's what we was just speaking about, looking not sharing the truth, you know. They got all the Dead Sea Scrolls been over there since the 40s or something, and they released like 5% of it, or like
Mhm.
how did like two native people find these Dead Sea Scrolls, and then the Romans come in and take hold of them and own them and hide them and release what they want to release when they want to release it.
Mhm.
Like, I mean,
Yeah,
wow.
and what have you? So there might be
Right.
much more.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. There's so much more. Yeah, there's so much more. They got priceless artifacts that out, you know, who
Mhm.
knows what the underground caverns and what the seven hills over there looks like, you
Yes,
know? Yeah.
actually, if you notice all the great sources of great knowledge, like the Library of Alexandria,
Yeah.
and even in the Middle Ages, places full of knowledge were destroyed on purpose,
Yes. That they
burned.
did that. They did that in the Crusades, a lot of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, to hide the truth. They try to cover it in the kings of Edom. They try to cover it in dirt and ashes and water and just try to cover everything up.
This might explain why now we are seeing that there are buildings covered under the ground, what they call the hidden Tartarian Empire, which
Hmm.
I think might have to do with a civilization that spread from the north towards the south, crossing Siberia, and spreading to the east and to the west. There is a legend in Siberia which says in the remote past there was a huge civilization in the North Pole and they were very spiritual. But something happened. I think there was a displacement of the poles and they received a huge amount of winds, cold. Well, all that was covered by ice. And this is told even in the books of Zoroaster, the mythical land Ariana Baejo,
Hmm.
the origin of the Aryans, which were not so much a race as a group of learned spiritual humans. No? And this civilization was destroyed, but the sages prognosticated that destruction, so most part of the people fled towards the south. And this was the origin of the Indian culture, the Celtic culture in the West. I have been finding even Celtic traces in Turkey. If you go there, you find people with blue eyes, tall and with blonde hair. Not all Celts were blondie and blue-eyed, but a huge amount of the population in the Celts were like that. And even the roots, look for instance, Galatia, which was a place in Turkey. Galatia sounds like the Gallia, no? The place of the Celts in France. Galicia in the north of Spain. This place, which I have behind, is in Asturias. It's right beside Galicia.
Yeah, and it sounds like glacier too. They come from the north. They fled from the north. You know.
Interesting. I didn't notice it. Glacier. Yeah. As Mr. Gurdjieff says, there is more truth in philology than in philosophy.
Yes, absolutely.
But you also find the root Gal in Galilee. No, wasn't the master a Galilean? Why was he called a Galilean? Because the people there had blue eyes, they were tall, so maybe when they are depicting...
Maybe all the paintings of Jesus ain't wrong.
That's
Who
it.
knows? Yeah, you never know.
Some people may get angry because they say, no, he was black.
So be it. I mean, he was more than a body, you know. So we all are. So
yes,
if you,
of course.
if you're so attached to your body in that way, shape, and form, and then we all know we got some work to do. Then that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, but the root Gal, it's amazing. Wales, Gallia, even Ireland, Gaelic, the name Gaelic, the Gaels. I think they were lost tribes of Israel, and they belong to the fallen races of Adamic people that somehow were in a new period of evolution. And the Messiah said that when he came, he would gather the tribes of the 12 tribes, just like Joshua in the story with Moses. And then the apostles would sit in the 12 thrones to judge the 12 tribes. This judge is internal, so each one of us belong to a tribe. This might have to do with the 12 signs. No?
Yes.
You are Capricorn.
Then he say he would also bring ones not of this. I'm paraphrasing very, very poorly here. He said, "I will also bring sheep not of this fold."
Yes, I have sheep that are not from this fold.
Yeah.
And he also said that there would be a time in which sages from the east and from the west would gather together in the kingdom of heaven to eat from the same table. To me, this sounds like the reunion of all the wisdom and converging into the one truth.
Yes.
Even Gurdjieff spoke of some places in Central Asia where monasteries receive people from different religions, different beliefs, and they all worship the one God. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe there was a kingdom of universal wisdom. The Aryan culture might have to do with that, but because of the influence of the adversary, that was destroyed. Actually, if you notice, there are areas in Asia, like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Satan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes me think.
Yeah. Wow.
I think that the adversary has been working very deeply
hard.
to erase the truth.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a unfortunate part of it, yes. But since lie is not part of the truth, in essence, does it even exist, really? I mean, exists, but in essence, in true essence, lie does not exist. Or
Yeah,
lie is not a part of.
it's a distortion of the truth.
Right.
It's looking with the wrong eyes, mirages, because the truth cannot be destroyed.
Right.
Here we live a form of relative truth because, well, we are now living in these bodies which are going to be destroyed. But something might be preserved through this relative truth.
Yes.
So we are meant to preserve something from our human experience. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
And I think this might have to do with the so-called millennial kingdom.
Yes.
Which is internal mostly.
Right.
The 100% of the 10 Sephirot moved by the 3 missing Sephirot, so the 13 Sephirot. But I think there might be a possibility of immortalizing the conquering of the adversary in this experience. And this is the message of the Master. He came, he incarnated, having a divine nature, a divine spirit. He integrated his human nature.
Yes.
And opened the way of the new Adam. So it's not the fallen Adam, it's a new Adam, a new humanity that is able to enter not the old Beria, the old world of gestation, but the new, which is a new kingdom.
Yes.
And this new kingdom already is fused with the emanation. I think if we see this in terms of the trees, the ladder of Jacob, or Jacob's ladder,
right,
we can see that the kingdom of God is the Malkut of Atzilut. We have here the Malkut of Atzilut, which is this emanation, and then the kingdom of the heavens, which is the 7 heavens of the worlds that are spreading, but mostly Beria, this world of gestation. And this is the Malkut of the world of Beria, which is the Tiferet of the world of Yetzirah. We are here in the Malkut of the physical world, but we can ascend, so with our Keter, we can connect with the kingdom, the kingdom of Beria.
Yes. Amen.
So it's within how we enter the true kingdom. And whether or not this manifests fully outside, well, this is a subject for discussion because...
Very much so. As we are approaching another millennium here, also, right?
This is what some deep teachings tell.
Yeah.
Some say the millennium took place in the past,
right,
in a global civilization, which might be possible, but there is a theory or a view, especially from the Hebrew point of view, which says the coming of the Messiah globally, or the Mashiach, is going to bring peace and wisdom, but there is still a period of 200 years, 200, 300, until this fulfillment is here, because they are in, according to their calendar, we would be in the 5748, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So in the 7th millennium, we would be living a total display of wisdom, of light, where even the forces of darkness will not have power. So there might be a period of that kind, but I think that already exists in other timelines.
Yeah, you just must have read my mind, because that was my next question.
Yes, because
So was that possible in another timeline that it already occurred or is occurring? Or?
it's another timeline in which we experience what is called the Olam Haba, the future world.